So we're here with the
Wow.
Casey got this to be more
Is that,
recorded.
oh,
So, well, we'll, in case the sheriff gets a call, I guess we'll start with the sheriff. What's been happening in your world, Mr. Boone?
Well, we should, I would hope by the end of this week, have the jail
painted.
done
Oh.
with the paint. It's just training. Ronnie's gonna send 3 of them up
Next Wednesday.
next Wednesday to Sanders
Some good
and do some you know,
shadowing.
shadowing,
Mhm.
OJT type of thing up in there. Other than that, we've just been running here and running there.
Mhm.
While we'll be interviewing 3 guys on Monday for the deputy position that's gonna,
Oh,
that Travis is gonna be
Right.
vacating. He extended his stay till the 9th to help us out.
oh, good.
His last Friday was his
March?
last day. No, this one. Well,
February.
February, I
Yeah.
mean.
So, just to
Yeah.
give us a helping hand, we put everything off for another 2 weeks, so.
Mhm.
Other than that, what else?
We got our mirror up in the booking room.
You guys toured it?
Yeah, last week. Yeah.
Yep. Since then, we've put up a mirror so when they're booking in an inmate, they can see the bench behind them. They can just kind of do a
Oh,
glance
yeah.
up and see, to make sure
Do a
they're not
quick eye
doing
check on
things.
'em.
Yep, that way, safety issues. Food, I'm looking at food contract. This is one from Whipped Up, that she did up a little sample of what she could do and about what the approximate costs would be per inmate per day, with between 25 and 2,800 calories a day. Every day that I've looked at, for every day, breakfasts are all hot. The main meal at lunchtime is all hot. I think I only saw maybe 2 spots that could possibly be a cold food, but everything else is hot meals. And it's stuff like chicken stir fry, spaghetti, pork loin, baked potato. I'm like, okay. Hot turkey sandwich, meatloaf, chicken Alfredo, those would be the main
Wow,
meals.
wow.
Breakfast, biscuits and gravy, French toast, scrambled eggs, breakfast. I think it's a breakfast scramble. I'm not sure what's in that yet.
Mhm.
Well,
Breakfast
that'd be-
sandwich, pancakes.
We're gonna have people getting thrown in jail just so they can have good
Eat.
meals.
I know. Yeah, yeah. And she's done all her work to tell you, like for diabetic stuff, she can accommodate that. She can also accommodate for gluten.
Mhm.
She said, just let me know so I can make sure. It's just one thing that I'm not sure if we have to put it out for bid,
Mhm.
because the contract with Durango's is expired.
Mhm.
Move forward that way.
Well, I guess we could see, before, if there's nobody in the area interested, then we wouldn't have to go out for bid. So I guess we can ask Durango if they're interested. And then last time we did that, St. Regis obviously wasn't interested, so we didn't even go out to bid. We just- Because
Right, because there was
who
nobody
else
that-
nobody wanted to compete, so why bother with the ad?
Yep.
So I guess it'd be.
And they're all set up for the hot,
So they
Tray
could
thing.
deliver it
yeah, a
hot.
certain temperature
Good.
and all that stuff,
Yeah.
so.
And she actually explained I gave her a tour of our kitchens so she would see what we
Mhm.
deal with.
Yeah.
And she asked if it was gonna be like, they needed to do this single serving, have everything ready to go,
Mhm.
you just deliver it, and I said, no, it'd be more home style where we scoop it up and put it on the tray, so we didn't have to deal with that, and neither did she. And that actually saves you money when you don't have to have all that extra cost there.
Mhm.
And, she actually figured it pretty close to what it would be in the contract, I think.
Okay.
So, but she did figure out for the calorie intake, what each meal for calories is, and she says she's done this before
Oh.
when she was up in the Huron area.
Mm.
So, that was a huge, huge plus, and she was very excited about it. So,
Who's that, Ronnie?
huh?
Who are you talking about?
Whipped Up, the old school.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So I
Old
guess-
Mary?
I am.
So do you
So-
need to maybe call
I can
Durango's
call Jolie
and
and
see if
and
they're,
ask.
Yeah.
because I guess if they're interested, then we'll have
put it out.
Yeah.
Mhm. I mean, last time she was in here, it kinda sounded like
Yeah.
she was
Yeah,
talking
before.
instead of doing the other thing.
Mhm.
And I did let whipped up people know that it is 365 days a year, you know,
Mhm.
so. And she said it's not a problem.
Mhm. Okay. And then, was that you ringing the siren all day today?
Sorry, I'm like, now I actually had the dispatch door open and it's like, oh, come on, guys, tell me to shut it off.
Was it just a fire?
Smoke,
Oh.
smoking semi. Brakes
Hopefully
locked up.
someday we can get
I love it when the
past
brakes
that and
lock
get into the 21st century.
Yeah, yeah, kinda like Mayberry still.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, hopefully, once in the mirror part of it, hopefully next week I'll know if we have to put it out for application stuff for a new fire chief.
So how many shadow days do you think the guys will need before you wanna accept maybe even?
At least
what were
take
you
our
think-
guys back from over there is what I'm hoping. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
at
I
least
thought
we
maybe
know.
baby steps,
You know-
just keep our own inmates, and then as you think that the guys are getting more polished and experienced, then
Yeah.
open it up to highway patrol and
Yeah.
then whatever.
Yeah, I'd like to see at least 2 days of them going over there. I
Mhm.
am also gonna go over a day. My calendar's kinda getting full for next week. But definitely want to get over there and talk, work with
Mhm.
Shauna on the stuff that she's got going over there and how she handles them
Mhm.
and move forward there. But yep, I'm hoping to go over
Okay.
next week. If not Wednesday with the boys, another day.
Okay.
Then we can still talk to Missoula and see if they're willing to send somebody out too when we get
Mhm.
actual people in here. But problem is, talking to Perry and stuff at the
Mhm.
academy, it's just, they're packed.
Mhm.
Every class, trying to get somebody in.
Mhm.
It's freaking, you know, even with, you know, dispatchers, it's the same thing.
Mhm.
Did you say something like they said they would try to prioritize this? Or did you already talk about that?
Yeah, well, no, Ronnie's getting in first because of
Yeah.
Of the position, yep, and then, hopefully March, Brandy will be going to that one. She's at the top of the list for that one. I sweet talked them into
Good.
moving her up. The, dispatch basic is basically too full. They don't have room for her, so she can't go to that one, so that'll
But she
save us
will
money.
be going to the detention.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, she goes to detention. Oh, good.
Yep,
Is she going back to detention?
yes, ma'am.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
That's good.
Just, I can't put her there until she goes to the academy.
Okay.
So that's
Wow.
where we're at.
That's good to
In
hear.
Hopefully
February?
March. What's that?
In February?
March.
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 And how many weeks is that for?
Yeah, this one ends, the one that's going on now is the 9th. And that, this is the last class ends and then.
They give a little time to get ready and then start a new class. And it's not just, you know, of course, it's not just detention officers that are over there. You've got your officer basics and
Yeah.
some highway patrol.
The mixed
or
up
MCS.
guys, the
Yep.
deputies.
Yep. That's where we're at right at the moment,
All right.
moving forward.
Nothing else exciting other than, you got some good pool from the consortium?
We got one guy that applied last time,
Mhm.
one new guy from Livingston, I think, and then a guy from Ronan that's post-certified.
Oh, good.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Awesome.
yeah.
Boy, that'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. Barb, what's new in your world?
All right, well, I'm just filling. Jen's got her dog at the vet, so I'm just here giving our update today. Communicable disease, we've just been busy with influenza, 17 cases in January that have been lab confirmed.
Wow.
So lots more than that, but that's what we've been seeing lab confirmed. As of now, they're not testing as many people. I had talked to Laura the other day because if they come in with the classic symptoms, to pay for the lab for a virus is typically not.
Why would a person want to get certified or whatever?
Or tested, like if they have it, if they're a high risk, if they're high risk, if they have high risk diseases that they could have complications, a lot of times, like if you're immunosuppressed or something, they'd want to because then they could give you an antiviral agent.
Mhm.
So they give you Tamiflu or something, and so minimize the symptoms in those people. So the very old, the very young, or people with immune compromised
Okay.
symptoms, then
All
they
all those in
often.
between, just grin
The
and
rest of
bear
us
it,
should
yeah.
stay home, wash our hands, cover our cough, and don't give it to anybody else,
Right.
basically. So, lots of influenza. The other big thing, and you guys all saw it on the news multiple times about the CDC report. You guys have heard about it through Board of Health too, but, you know, it was really from 2016. It somehow blipped back on the radar. It never was something that said we actually have high cases of acute hep C or
Right.
HIV. It was basically a prediction based off a county, Scott County in Indiana had an outbreak of acute hepatitis C and HIV. And so the CDC went in and tried to pick out what they thought made them
Common
vulnerable.
denominator, yeah.
And when they ran those 5 things, which were drug overdose deaths, prescription opiate sales, bupropion, income, race, ethnicity, and unemployment, Mineral County ranked right up there. So that's how we got on there. The good information is it makes us start trying to pay attention and maybe like communicate with you guys more if you're seeing, you know, more, especially IV drug arrests. If you're prosecuting more cases related to high-risk drug activity, those would be things the health department should know because that could increase our risk. So we'll try and get some sort of channels of communication going for those things because those are high-risk activities. You know, we already know about unemployment and things like that. We don't have any prescribers right now that do the buprenorphine that are approved in Mineral County, but we know that we have people out here on that. They just get prescribed from other areas.
Oh, is that the
It's for,
immunity with HIV?
no, this one is for people that are addicted to narcotics.
Oh, okay.
And so we don't have any local prescribers. They have to get, do extra certification and different things, but we do know we have people in the area on it. So that kind of flagged us too, but just in your day-to-day actions through the courts, through whatever, if you guys start seeing things that could put people at more risk, make sure to let us know and we'll see what we can do for interventions. If anybody has questions or wants to look at the original study, let us know. We'll certainly share it. The state health department is kind of befuddled as to why it's
And I
coming
thought,
back
yeah,
up
I thought
again.
Jen's comments in the health departments were great.
Yeah,
'Cause I mean, in the article of just what? Yeah.
Yeah, well, and it's really interesting because even though the article went out and it said it was a predictive model, everybody was like, we have a bunch of cases of. So it
Yeah.
was, you know, people read headlines, they don't necessarily read the paper, the
Right,
whole
yeah.
article. So if you have people that are like, oh, did you hear this? Just refer them to us because we're happy to visit with them and say, no, this was a predictive model, this wasn't actual numbers, because we don't have numbers to back that up. And those are both mandatory reportable, so even if somebody gets tested in Missoula or Billings or wherever they go, if they come back HIV positive or Hep C positive, we still get that information. So it comes from the lab and the provider, so it's kind of a double check. So we're not seeing that, but we could. So important to know. Immunizations, we haven't given any for the month because we still don't have a refrigerator since ours failed. It went through the company that was approved to come and repair it, got upset with the company that sold it, and they said they wouldn't do it. And so we have another company came out, there was something wrong with the switch, they've ordered it, but we don't have it back yet. And Casey's still working on the insurance claim because it was a lot of vaccine. We've received 11,500 vaccine reimbursements since the beginning of this fiscal year. Other things in the health department, Ashley took over as safety coordinator, and she has a whole pile of stuff she's digging through. It looks like a lot of the policies still need signatures, approvals. There's some mandatory yearly things that MACO has said we need to do in a lot of the departments. So that will probably be coming forward, that we need to have when they went through those policies with her. Tobacco prevention, we're working with the Idaho Forest Group is looking into some more things. They're very strict on tobacco use. And so that's been a good thing. We've been working on some outreach with them. Through with Chew Week is coming up in February. If anybody chews, give the health department a call. We can bring
Coffee.
lots of information. We can bring lots of information down.
I'm working on it.
Is it coffee pod?
Yeah, those
Yeah,
coffee
he
pods.
just talked about that. I had
doing
not
that.
heard about that.
It's pretty good.
Is it?
Especially when you drink coffee. It's like having a double shot.
Has anybody peeled you off the ceiling yet?
Not yet.
No,
So
my-
those-
Sometimes
my
it does
son-
get a little squirrely.
Yeah, my son did the herbal.
Yeah.
Started with the herbal
Yeah.
stuff and, I mean, it was within like a week, he was.
Well,
I
that
just
stuff's
ordered a-
horrible, that's why.
Yeah, but that's good. I just ordered a bunch of that we can hand out during that week to people, so. So if you want some horrible stuff instead of your caffeine,
It's like
let me know.
tar. It's nasty.
You could get the
You
herbal
can get
stuff from the
pouches.
Washington herbal store.
There you go.
We don't have that.
Get the coffee pouches.
We'd have the most mellow sheriff in the house. Hey, man.
Yeah, got any munchies?
And how do you quantify? Oh, let's see. PAT, right now we're servicing 29 children. We have the capacity for 40. So if you know any kids 0 to 5, any families you work with that are interested, tell them to give us a call. There's 2 FICMR cases coming up. We've got some car seats coming in through a donation program. And I know Ellen's going to review some. I don't
I
know if you
did
have.
today, because thank goodness Jen sent me a reminder email.
To make sure that
Yes,
the
sounds
donation
good.
program doesn't look like something
Nope,
that's
sounds
got
good.
strings attached.
Nope, it's got all this legalese, and it's just basically do what we say, and you guys
Oh,
will be
perfect.
doing it. and it's-
Okay,
looks good.
awesome. We like people
You're
to,
gonna email me on the FICMR?
yeah, yep. Yeah, Jen, let me write on here to make sure you get those. And then, Healthy Community Coalition, a lot's been going on, good attendance, about 20 people at coalition meetings. So if anybody's ever interested in those, we do those every other month. We're working the resource guide for Mineral County, if anybody's looking for that. Just got updated and we can email you that. The hospital is also going to post it on their website, and we'll put it on here again through the county website. What else is new? The schools are just the same as the county. Lots of influenza, lots of GI diseases, lots of education going on in those things right now. We did get Tiger Radio to do DUI task force. They're going to have some Super Bowl. They did, yeah. They're going to have some anti-drinking and driving commercials that the kids are doing, the high school kids. So those should go up this week on Tiger Radio, and then they're also doing some tobacco ones for us. We're still looking for a part-time RN.
Mm.
We have had nobody with a bachelor's degree that can, and it requires a bachelor degree. You can get an associate's degree for an RN degree, but to run most of our programs, it's required. So we're still looking. We had one little bit of a reach out for interest, and we've sent information, and we're hoping that comes with an application recently. But so we're still working on that. What else? I don't know if you guys have any other questions about. Dogs are locked up for winter. We had no dog bites this month. They're cold, they're staying in the house. So,
Good.
if anybody else has questions, let me know.
Yeah, did you notice your new sign up on top of the building?
Yes, we have a new sign, so you can tell it's the health department again. Thank you very much. I know it was hard to probably get up. So we do have a sign. If you guys are looking for us, you might find us now. So, thank you. That's it.
All right. Thank you for this thorough report. And, yeah, and Ashley had her first yoga class here.
Yes, and there was, let's see, there were 6 people this morning here.
Ooh. Yeah.
So, started with a half an hour,
Overachievers.
and she may get it up to an hour at some point if we can get more people to come. So, and Janet's awesome. So
Yeah.
I was here, Mary was here.
Is it gonna be every,
Thursdays
Thursday
is what
morning?
they're hoping for.
I was here early when I thought it was a meeting.
He thought it was a meeting.
Casey
So
put it
he
on
showed up at
on my
7:30.
agenda, and I go, "We have a meeting that early?" She goes, "Yeah." So I showed up, and like this, I didn't have to go.
Well, we don't discriminate. You know.
Yeah.
You can come in anything you want.
Yeah.
Well, that's reasonable.
I'm not very, I'm not
If
very
it's a half
flexible.
hour, I'd like to see it earlier than that because I have to be to work at 8.
Oh, well, I'll tell her that, because maybe she could do, because I know these guys had to hurry up and I had to race out, so maybe we could do it. What time do you have to start?
Right now, I
7:30?
normally start at 8 o'clock,
Okay,
so from 7:30 to 8 is kind of like when I'm headed to work.
okay. I'll ask her. Maybe she could start at 7. If it doesn't get too early, then people don't want to come
Yeah.
either.
Any earlier than that, forget it. I probably won't crawl out of bed.
But it's a big, nice room, so hopefully more people will start coming.
Mhm. All right. JW,
Same old.
you don't want to tell us about your new toy?
Oh, Mineral County bought a new snowplow. in the form of a Honda Foreman 500cc. How's that?
Four-wheeler.
Yeah, it's got a 5-foot blade, lots of power, push lots of snow.
Mhm.
Takes me about half the time to get everything done.
Good.
I saw you had some little dice hanging from something.
Yeah, I got some dingle balls. You know. Think about dropping it, you know.
So it has
Put some
electric,
hydraulics on it.
does it have electric start and a pull start?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. About it.
Okay.
What happened to the old one?
Which one?
The old Suzuki, it was a
Yeah.
1994 model.
It belonged to the
I
weed
got
department.
about
Oh,
one and a half days of plowing done, and then that carburetor took a dive, so I had to get the carburetor rebuilt. And a couple other things, I had to buy a new battery for it.
What did you
And
say? It's 95, you said?
4, 6,
Yeah,
something like
whatever.
that.
Needs a little
It tried real hard,
TLC.
it tried, just wasn't getting the job done. So it
Yeah.
frees up my labor hours so I can do other things besides plowing all day long.
And how'd you get the sign up on the building? What kind of a chore was that?
Very carefully. You know, when you get 4x6 sign, 4 foot by 6 foot, and you're going up a ladder, it tends to act like a sail.
Yeah.
But we got it up there.
Judge Magone.
We had a lot of orders of protection applications. Wintertime, I think, probably, I don't know, cabin fever or something, I guess. We've had a few of them lately. Had a few bench trials that presented problems of different sorts. They were interesting.
Hours and
Ended up
hours.
thinking 20-minute trial and a couple hours. But, and we got another one scheduled next week. Looks like we're gonna have a lot more too. We're gonna try to move ahead with a lot of our cases have been kind of getting drug out. Like to get that jail up and running. It just seems like it's kind of a little bit of confusion on sometimes where our prisoners are. We had one, I can't remember, I think they had a warrant out of Missoula or something. And we thought they were sent down to Sanders, and we sent all the paperwork down there, and Sanders didn't have them. And so just straightening out that, it just, with the jail, getting the jail up and running is gonna
Yeah.
help things a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
And in the papers, and Ronnie and Boone, it seemed like we're always reading an article about Lake County being so full they can't even put real bad people in jail. So hopefully we got some networking with them that we can help them out.
Or even Missoula, did you talk about that before I came down?
Which part?
About
How
getting
full
some
they
of
are.
theirs?
Oh.
Yeah. Just, I mean, because they sent us back somebody who we didn't, she was a DOC.
Mm.
She wasn't ours. We had released her OR, but she was, they were so full, they sent her back up to Sanders. So I was saying to Sheriff Boone, we don't pay for her. That's a DOC. But they couldn't keep her in Missoula. And she wasn't ours, but
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
Judge.
We've been talking about meeting up with all the Boone and everybody about the restitution whenever there's a crash, so we gotta get that meeting set up one of these days. But, no, things are going along good. Staying busy.
Mhm. And I'll pause for a moment, but the man standing behind the camera is retired DES coordinator George Gupton. And so we have a replacement in the room, and that is Lori Dove is the new DES coordinator for Mineral County.
Oh, great.
And she is here at her first department head meeting. Do you have anything to report, young lady?
Well, I just started on the 10th, so.
I know.
January. I did, right off the bat, had to go to we're updating the community wildfire protection plan, so we had a meeting right off the bat. And then yesterday, I spent the day in Butte at our Montana DES Western Area Local DES Coordinators meeting. And I met a lot of people there, which was really nice. Monday evening and Tuesday morning, I will be meeting with Ryan Lee. He's the Western Area Team Supervisor, and also he's sitting in for Martha, well, because she retired, so.
Is he from Centers County, Lori? Or-
No,
from
he's from
Helena.
Helena.
Oh, okay.
And Sherry Poole is also gonna be with him, and she's gonna help me out with the grant. She's the grant coordinator for DES.
Mhm.
And then the 13th and 14th, I'll be going to the Mako DES meeting in Billings.
We'll see you there.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of other stuff coming up, and I'm looking forward to it, and it's interesting, and I'm hopefully learning a lot. So a lot of it's overload, but I'm getting it, I think. So, yeah, that's good. It'll be good.
Yeah. Well, very good. We're glad you're interested and we're glad you're here.
Thank you.
All right. Mary, how's it going up there?
Good, busy. I'll need your email address then when you get
Okay.
payments in, so I can get you that information.
Okay, yeah.
Busy, as usual. We sent out reminders for real estate taxes that people that were delinquent. We brought in a bunch more money this last month for that. We just received the bond money for the, that's tomorrow morning.
Oh, the
So
school?
you're gonna sign a, we got the money in yesterday, the 3.3 million for the school bond,
Mm-hmm.
so they could start moving forward on that. So that's pretty exciting. I haven't been through the whole process before, so I kind of got feelers out to make sure that everything I'm doing is the right way to do it, and where the money's coming and where the money's going, and so that's pretty exciting. And the rest of it just same old.
Mm-hmm. Candelibra.
Well, the boss is out ill right now.
Oh, did you give it to him? Did you give it
No,
to
wasn't
him?
me.
Okay, just checking.
She was one of those that stayed home. I know from her
Okay.
time card.
Good.
Did stay home.
Good.
Thank you. Yeah, we all thank everyone.
I don't think Tim would let me come to work.
Yeah.
We were going to call you a sluffer, but since Barb's here saying it was a good thing to do, I can't do that.
I was a good girl and stayed home and spread it around.
Good job.
Okay.
We just received our fourth quarter payment for the inspections that Tim did on the fourth quarter. It was about $4,500, so that was good.
Which inspections were those?
These were the licensed establishment inspections.
Oh,
that he
okay.
does every quarter, but we just received the fourth quarter's payment. He had a busy quarter, so the payment was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
We have a subdivision hearing coming up with the planning board on February 26th for Lausch Minor amended, which is in Alberton.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it for now.
That's a nighttime meeting down here on?
Yeah. It'll go to the planning board and then also to the town of Alberton.
Okay. That's it, huh?
It's been busy, but that's just the most urgent things that we have coming up.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Uh-huh. And the woman from Butte?
Woman who showed up late. Melanie, I think most of you have met her. She's the legal assistant. She's been up there for a month, and thank God she's less than a month. I thought by day 2 she might run for the hills, but she's sticking with me, and she's doing well. She knows computers well, and she's very good at reminding me of things. And actually, she reminded me. Jen had sent another email saying, "Hey, could you please check this out? It's got to be faxed in tomorrow." And Melanie sends me another email to make sure I see that Jen has already reminded me. So thank God it takes takes a village to
When you get that
job.
many emails
Oh.
too, it's kind of,
Yeah, I miss
Oh, I
so many.
forgot about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I just look, say, "Oh, nope, don't have time." But yeah, it's going fine. We do have. We did finally get the. And it was like beginning of December, so we've had it for a couple of months. We did get the final report on the officer-involved shooting from the fair, which was pre-me, but we now have to set it for a coroner's inquest. I just have to take a day and just go through all the evidence, and then we'll set that up, and it's probably going to be quite a few witnesses, but we've got to get that done, so I'm hoping
with those, is there a timeline where you have to buck up against, you know, is there a certain amount of time you have to do those?
Not necessarily, but it took us a long time to get the report because I know that the agent was super busy and kept getting pulled in different directions, but we've had it for about 2 months and I haven't even looked at it yet. Other than speaking with the agent and he was telling me kind of his take on it, on his investigation, but I've got to just take a day and just go through all the evidence and then set it for a coroner's inquest. So that's about it, just plugging along.
Okay. Lori, do you have anything to enlighten everybody with?
Can't think of anything right off the bat.
You going to the DES, did you say?
Pardon?
Did you say you were going to the DES?
It's in conjunction with MACO.
Oh, okay. I
Lori
saw
and I-
something about that.
Midwinter conference
Is it
in
Billings?
Billings.
The week
yeah.
of February 12th, Lori and I will be in Billings.
Yeah, and there were some good topics in that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, but I just, I can't.
Yeah.
We'll be there
That's
then,
good.
so.
Yeah, and then other than that, can't think of anything else exciting. Not even nationally, or federally.
Yeah, no word on Pilt or SRS or none
You
of
got that email I forwarded?
Hmm?
You got that email I forwarded you on that?
What was it?
On PILT, SRS,
Was it a good email or a bad?
what else was in there? There was something else.
Just, yeah, nothing.
Just saying doom and gloom, or?
No, it was a conference or something on it, wasn't it?
Oh,
Oh, maybe I know
Yeah.
I didn't get anything from you,
Yeah, I
but
just-
come to think of it.
yeah, there's a conference on that, and Title III monies.
Is that the hearings in Washington DC, you mean? Or?
No, I thought it was locally here.
Oh.
I forwarded it to you and
Hmm.
your Montana.gov email, whatever came
I'll
up
have to
with
look
it.
and see it.
yeah, you
Yeah,
said
is
that
there something-
because I could sure
Okay.
use some more training on that stuff.
So then, I'm coming back to you, Ronnie, but you got all the dispatch retired, right? So,
All right.
so now you'll be able to step away and not be on the rate, you can start doing whatever.
Once they're all trained and up and running.
Oh, okay, so they're still needing training.
Yep, still need training.
And they have
Okay.
to take classes also, or
They'll have a dispatch academy that they'll go to for 2 weeks. Usually we like to get them past the 6 month period, so if we know if they're gonna stay or go or how they're working out, and then they'll have a 2 week.
But-
Just
but
online
before
training,
that
yeah.
time, then they have to be with someone else.
Yep. Well, for up to, it's, everybody's learning curve is different. Some people take longer to learn things than other people. If it's a position that you've never been in, it's gonna take you some time to learn all the stuff that you need to do. And even then, you still have questions and stuff. I still get phone calls all the time.
Sure.
But, yeah, once we have everybody up in training and done, then I won't have to be sitting at the desk that much. I can do the other duties as well that some days it's like, go away and leave me alone because I have so much going on.
A couple weeks ago, I went to a meeting in Missoula, and it's regarding the other side of our hill, the Idaho, the Clearwater
Oh,
Forest.
that's right, yeah.
So
Jesus.
many of you know already in the Montana side, because of the movement with the Montana Wilderness Association, all those outfits based there, basically, they have from Low Pass all the way to Dry Creek is either locked up in a proposed wilderness Great Burn, or an inventoried roadless area, which is basically the wilderness. So anyway, the only way that we still get snowmobilers coming over here is because they can go up the Trout Creek Road, and just on the other side of Voodoo Pass, they can ride the Idaho faces and the Idaho slopes, which, if they're on the Montana side, technically they're by the administrative rules of the Forest Service, they're breaking the law. So anyway, now that the environmentalists think that they don't like their side being closed, but the Idaho side being open, they would like it all to be closed. So they're pressuring the Idaho forest to, with their new travel map, to lock out all motorized use on that side as well. So I went to that meeting, and I thought it was a little bit funny that it's a state of Idaho, it's a forest, it's in Idaho, and they had to have their meetings in Idaho, but for some reason, they also decided that they had to have one on neutral ground at the University of Montana. But anyway, so I went to that.
Yeah, neutral ground.
And anyway, I invited the forest supervisor over there to maybe come over and have a meeting with us, because I think that even though it's in Idaho, nobody drives all the way to Orfino and then back up to Snowmobile. They go right there in our motels, and it's a drop in the bucket, but at least it's some kind of a economic draw to have snowmobiling up in our neck of the woods, and a lot of people are coming.
We get a ton up at Taft, though.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a ton of.
But it's a different kind of ride. I mean, not that Taft isn't good, but when you have a concentration of people, only one area for them to go, then you know what happens. It's not as fun, because now we kind of need some snowmobile trails and some backcountry riding and some higher backcountry. You know, I think
Spread them out a little.
we need to keep all of our recreation options open. But that's why people kind of stop going to some of these things, because that's the only place they can do it, and then it's just so crowded they don't want to go there anymore.
There they go up, hit the state line, head back towards Dry Creek and all that area, which
Yeah.
is all part of that great burn.
And they're trying to keep people
Nice
out
if
of
we
it?
did.
It is closed, or they
It
want
is.
to close it?
Well, the Montana side is closed, but they want to close the Idaho side now.
Because they're damaging it somehow?
Well,
On
they think they
15
are.
feet of snow.
It's causing problems with the wolverines.
Yeah, scaring the wolverines. Yeah.
Well, and like at that meeting there, everybody had an opportunity to speak, so I said, well, we've already got, and I'm not counting inventoried road lists, and I'm not talking about proposed wilderness, I'm talking about actual bona fide designated wilderness areas approved by Congress. We have 11 of them within a 75-minute drive of Missoula. Already we have 11 of them, so to me, when they say, we don't really have that much wilderness, we need more, well, let's just pick another spot, because it's all right here, you know.
Yeah.
At the Scapegoats, we're at the Bob Marshall, the Mission Mountains, the Rattlesnake, the Welcome Creek,
Yeah.
And then all the road lists on top of that.
yeah. But anyway, that was kind of interesting, so.
Now, was there another meeting with, wasn't it about a ski resort or something? Or,
Idaho.
yeah. Did
Oh,
you
yeah,
ever talk about that?
I went over and met no.
Okay.
Oh, you
yeah.
wanna hear? Oh, okay, I
sorry
forgot about that too, so.
Sorry about that. You may have already talked about it.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
No, you're prompting I didn't know anybody knew that, would care about that, so.
Oh, well, Tim had mentioned it briefly to me, so I was just curious to see how it had
Oh.
gone. Or
If people are interested and have the time. So, in the olden days, when Montana was a state and Idaho was a state, they typically pick, when the surveyors would go and pick the boundary lines, they would typically pick the highest mountain ranges, and the water going down this side of the mountain, well, that'll be Idaho, and the water dumping off this, that'll be Montana. And so they kind of picked state lines on geographical, topographical things like that. And so the state line cannot be altered or changed because Congress approved it when the surveyor said this is the line. So I always wonder about this, because on the highway patrol there was an old picture when it was a two-lane highway of Herb Baker, who was my predecessor. He was here from 45 to 71. But there's an old picture of him in his old I don't know what the heck it was, 51 Ford or something on top of the Lookout Pass. He's sitting there by the sign, and it says the elevation 4,800 whatever. And now when you go over it, it's a little bit less. Well, when the interstate went over, when they built the interstate, they blew the top of the mountain out a little bit to accommodate, so you didn't just go straight up and down. It kind of went over like that. When they blew the top of the mountain out, now this topographical boundary line is kind of a little bit, where is it exactly? So when the ski area got built and started becoming, instead of a ski club, it was more now of a business, the assessors in Idaho just kind of started assessing the land to include the ski lodge, and they kind of also did it in conjunction with the forest. The Idaho forest didn't want to manage the half with the restaurant and have the Montana forest manage the half with the ski rentals or whatever. So they just went with the Forest Services managing it, and so then the Idaho assessor grabbed it all too. Well, technically, that's not the state line.
Right.
They have 13 acres of Montana that they've been claiming as their own, and past commissioners didn't really scream too much because it was like half of a building that they stored something in. It was like a whopping $300 in property taxes. But now with the planned expansion and new buildings and lifts and all that, we thought we better get this straightened out, that 13 acres should, you can't change the boundary line without congressional approval. So Tim and I and Denley Logie went with us. We went and visited the Idaho commissioners to inform them that we would like to, and they were going, well,
So are they having their people take a look at it?
So that's
or-
what they said. They were
Yeah.
very concerned about, well, it's the first we've heard of it, and we'll have our legal people look at it and get back to you. But Tim's done the legwork already and got, the U.S. Geological people from Billings, that's where their office is, and talked to Steve Daines' office, and everyone's going, yeah, you guys are right.
Oh, good.
Tim's right, Denley's right. And I always knew that because when I was a highway patrolman, when I first came here, they always told me, you don't have to do a wreck in Idaho. And I said, well, how do you tell? Well, it's not the sign at the overpass. It's when you go over the top, the pavement drastically changes because the Department of Transportation still knows where the boundary line is. Idaho's not going to pave anything that's not theirs.
Yeah, or yes, I was thinking
And
that
Montana,
with the plowing too.
so you
Yeah.
can tell when the mountain got blasted out because you go by the interchange, you just start to go down the hill, and then there's a definitive change in the pavement, and now it's.
Now I'm gonna have to notice
And
that.
now it's
Just-
called-
I noticed it on this, when I was coming back from Spokane, and I noticed it on the plowing.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
unbelievable.
Same thing.
It's
The
like,
state
yeah,
guys,
yeah, it's
they
like,
would
wow.
love for the boundary line to be at the interchange because then they could just, when they're going on the Montana side, they could just take the exit and loop around and come back. But they have to go approximately 100 feet down.
It's a little, yeah.
And there's that big pullout. Then they have to try to make sure no cars are coming and
As it
jog
comes around,
through
yes.
by the
Yeah.
Jersey
Yep,
wall and
and
not
it's
get
exactly,
T-boned.
yeah.
So we had to tell the
crazy.
Idaho commissioners that story too, that, gee, our snowplow guys are taking a big risk, and if that's really yours.
Really are, yeah, yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can have it.
We're helping you out, yeah.
So, and then sidebar interesting thing I learned is one of the guys was running for re-election. I go, oh, how long are your guys' terms? Well, because we never want to have a green commissioner in the chair, so we have to do a 4-year term and then a 2-year term, and that way there's never a brand new commissioner at the same time. I says, that's how we are. We never have a brand new commissioner in the chair, but we just do 6-year terms.
Right,
So that way she's up, and then in 2 years Dwayne's up, and then 2 years. I mean, there's always,
right.
but they do
somebody's been there
4
at
and 2,
least.
and I go, well, that's goofier than heck. You guys
Yeah.
just do 6.
Yeah. It is a-
So have you filed yet?
I have not. I have not filed yet. Scraping up my pennies.
What are you thinking about Butte again?
Just, I've got to think, I love where I live. The job is challenging, but I like the community. Just have to pull the trigger.
Pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Well, we'll give you a nudge, so.
Yeah, I've had a
I'll give you the
coworker-
bullet. What kind of gun you shoot?
Yes, I have. Actually, on one morning when Mike came and woke me up at, Sheriff Boone, at 5:30 in the morning, I was telling my family about it. My mom's saying, why did he have his lights on? And I said, when I came down, because I was like, I know my phone, I had it off because I'd been at meetings. I had been at the county attorney's conference and never turned my ringer back on. So they've been trying to call me, and I'm sleeping, and I hear this banging on the door, and I look out and I see these red lights, and I thought the house is on fire. And of course it's a rental. I'm thinking, they're going to kill me. I left the stove on or something. And I come down, and I was telling my parents, and my mom was saying, why did he have his lights on? You live in the middle of nowhere. And I said, because he said, as soon as I opened the door, he said, I have my lights on. I didn't want to get shot. Yeah, because, I don't know if I would have answered if there hadn't been lights on. I'd be like, who's coming and knocking at my door at 5:30? Yeah, I would have. Yeah, so
Not
I
the
just,
Ups man.
and that's different from, my parents are from the Bronx, so that's they're like, what? Yeah,
Wrong.
So have you filed, Mike?
Tomorrow I pay.
Yeah, all right,
Waiting
okay,
for
yep, it's
payday.
payday, yep,
Yep.
yep.
I know Mary has,
Good,
and I have,
Good, good.
Dale has, Dale has.
Good, wow, uh-oh.
Now
I
I'm
do
just
have
waiting
paperwork.
for March 12th.
I do have the paperwork, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
yep.
Okay.
Well, I can't think of anything else exciting, but
I didn't have to file. Oh, I filed, but I didn't.
All right, thank you.
thank you, everybody,
Good
for attending
information,
and
Mark, thank
giving
you.
us an update.
That's good information.